Hi Libra, welcome to your weekly tarot reading for the period beginning on the full blue moon on March 31st and continuing through the first week in April. My name is Raina and I have already laid out the cards. This is my fourth time doing this reading. I'm just going to try to just get through it because I keep clearing my throat and I don't want to have it on camera, but I can't edit very easily these days, so just trying to get through this. Just want to tell you briefly, if you're born on October 2nd and beyond that date, or 11 degrees of Libra and beyond, then this full moon is actually going to be in your 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of past lives and all kinds of mystical experiences, mental health and buried memories, repressed memories, and, you know, karma. So fantasy, illusion. So if you have this full moon transiting in this 12th house, you may have some kind of a revelation. It might come through a dream or meditation where you understand what's holding you back, what keeps you from living your most optimal life. And the 12th house is the house of self-undoing. So a full moon here can illuminate that. And if the full moon is falling in your first house, so in other words, if you're born within the first 10 days of Libra, then this is going to be in your first house, and it's going to be more related to your sense of self, and maybe ending a behavior trait, or a way you present yourself to others that may have, cross purposes, may work against you. And this could even be like changing your physical appearance in some way, or embarking upon physical self-improvement as well. And but there's a basic sense with the full moon in your sign that you are letting go of something. So in a way, you could say that the full moon in both of those houses may have similar effects, and so that's pretty cool. So the heart of the matter this week is the Page of Cups, and this is a card of receiving news of an emotional nature that could involve an old flame, since Mercury retrograde is in play, and it could also involve news of a child, perhaps even that you are pregnant. This card connects to Pisces specifically, and so if that's a person you're dealing with, the other water signs are Cancer and Scorpio. And in general, this is a heartfelt message, whatever it is, or you're beginning a relationship with somebody who is very watery in their nature. You're in the early stages of it. In terms of work issues, it could be like, this could be for any situation. There could be a sense of being gullible about something. And that is something to be concerned about, because somebody may be trying to pull the wool over your eyes, and if you're not careful, you might just totally believe them. And so we have here in the challenge position, this may illuminate what else is going on, that this is a card of somebody who may be weighing their options between two jobs, and one of them may be overseas. It could be a situation where you're very harried, you're so busy trying to do a balancing act between maybe work and school, or two jobs, or taking care of a parent, something where you're stretched very thin and you don't have time to deal with a new relationship. It's just too much. So that is of concern to you right now. But even like if you have a child, you might be like, I'm neglecting my child, I'm working two jobs, and my child needs me, my child needs my emotional support. And if you're pregnant, you find out you're pregnant and you're working all these hours, and you're like, oh gosh, now what? And in terms of gullibility issues, you may be weighing two options, but you have to be careful that the job is as good as they say it is. Because especially if it's a long distance away and you can't vet it, you can't go to the place, and you have to like kind of basically uproot your life to make it to make it happen. You can feel this sense of like, or you won't feel it now, but you might be walking into a trap if you're not careful. So you have to make sure that you're very vigilant about checking up on what offers are being made and if they're legitimate. The root cause of this is the Seven of Wands. So I think that recently some of you have begun to assert yourself, and perhaps you even got out of another relationship, and that's what the Page of Cups was referring to, that you're starting a new one, or you're talking to somebody from your past because you're closing ties with somebody else. Now, one thing about this Two of Pentacles, you might be naive about a person that you've just started a relationship with, because they may be seeing somebody else. They're juggling you and somebody else. So just to also bring that into the picture. But you may have been standing up for yourself at work, and therefore decided, because perhaps you weren't getting the answers that you want, that you are going to try to find another job, and you have done that. You know, one thing about Libra is that even though they sometimes can, I was going to use the word pushover, which I don't think is really 100% correct. I think Librans tend to want other people to like them, as well as want harmony, want to maintain peace in their environment. And that can lead to, you know, problems just on that factor alone. But I think one thing that's good about Librans is they only take so much, and then they eventually take other action, because Libra is a cardinal sign. So they're not going to just sit there indefinitely and allow a certain situation to fester. The spiritual message is represented by the Two of Cups. This is a card of reuniting with somebody, going back to that Page of Cups. If the Mercury retrograde, I'm in shadow right now, brings some kind of person back into your life, the spiritual message might be that the timing was right. This could be something that was years in the making, that you've been hoping for years, and the timing was never right. You were married, they were married, and now you're both free. This can also, for business, relate to you going into partnership with somebody. I actually have a couple cards like this. So you may decide to kind of branch out on your own. Dualism with the number 2. 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. So there may be you being on the fence, which is not bizarre for Librans. That's kind of like your, you know, go-to mode is being indecisive. But you have options. I think that's the most important thing to let you know. Whether it's romantic or career, you do have options. You're not just stuck in this one place. The advice is represented by the King of Cups. This is an older gentleman who is very compassionate and emotionally balanced. This person could be a professional, so it could be like a counselor. If you are in a marriage that you are looking to get out of, you may seek a marriage counselor to kind of ease the way. This could, you know, this guy could be a judge even, or a legal counselor, maybe even a mediator at work. Anybody who, but they have like their heart chakra open, so they're not like just the King of Swords. It's very in their head. They really are concerned with the plight of others. So judges aren't supposed to be like that. So maybe this is more like a clergy a minister counseling you, or it could be like at work, a mediator, and or just like a regular counselor where you just want some kind of guidance, or maybe this is your father. Kings can be fathers. If this is the person, the Page of Cups can be the King of Cups, by the way, because pages can refer to new situations or messages even. And so the King of Cups might be somebody who is emotionally mature, and you really connect with them on that level because there's an inherent kindness. You appreciate them for that, and it's kind of might even be different. This Seven of Wands, if you were with an Aries person in the past, or fire energy, or just any kind of aggressive partner who was continually putting you down, this person builds you up. This person is very compassionate. And this could be a boss. Yeah, I forgot. I should have said that. You may be choosing a job that is feels very comfortable for you emotionally. Actually, it could even be in the area of counseling, social work, anything where emotions are involved. And Librans would be good in that field, or humanitarian concerns where you're nurturing others, maybe even in as a nurse and things like that. But there's a sense of like having a compassionate supervisor, boss, what have you. And this would be a stark contrast to another job where you felt like you were always defending yourself. The outcome, the first card I picked was the Ten of Swords, and then I picked an additional card because the Ten of Swords is one of those cards that doesn't resolve things for me fully. A lot of people see this as a very negative card because there's a sense of the person being stabbed in the back, metaphorically, of course, and it's a sense of betrayal. And I would say, and then I got the Moon card with it, so if you've been dating a Pisces, because I did mention that, this card is connected to Pisces, but the Moon rules Cancer, so again, I think I mentioned that as well, that you may have been gullible about something. And it's also the Moon that we're talking about. It's interesting because that full moon is in Libra, so that is, for you, that means that the sun is in the 7th house. So there's an opposition between the 1st and 7th houses for you during this full moon. In terms of your own, well, I mean, that's how it is in the universal chart as well. But for you, you're highlighting your own needs. Like you're realizing, if this is like an ending of a marriage or something like that, you're understanding that you maybe did not honor yourself in the past. And so these things are coming to light for you. But sometimes full moons bring out secrets, and the Moon card is a card of deception sometimes. And so it can illuminate some things that may have been a little bit sketchy, or you didn't realize. So, the Moon can deal with half-truths, lies coming out. And then you feel that sense of betrayal, evidenced by the Ten of Swords, but it's there to allow you to move on. And this also applies to any kind of work situation. You may have felt that you were promised something that they didn't deliver. However, I think that with the King of Cups, that it's asking you, that's kind of like, oh, it's so funny? I didn't even tell you what this card was. I wonder how many people noticed that I didn't do that. And this is actually the card of what is coming in the near future. So actually, I'm going to end on a good note because this is the Lover's card. So there is some kind of, this is associated with Gemini, by the way. And this can be a choice. This can also be you connecting with somebody romantically. So it's possible. Now, usually I don't read the outcome card before I read what, the events coming in the near future, but it doesn't really matter, I suppose. Perhaps what this indicates is that some of you will discover after the fact that you made the right choice, because the person that you were choosing between, one of them turned out to be a person who was very deceptive. And usually people know this inside of themselves, and they tend to have a very kind of like a sixth sense about whether somebody is being straight with them. So basically in that scenario, this is you trying to decide between two people. I was thinking that perhaps somebody was cheating on you, but that's possible too. And you were already halfway out of the relationship. So that adds a lot of positivity to it, because it's funny, even though I forgot to pick that card, when I got these two cards, it did not really feel that it was in the spirit of this reading, because I actually saw a lot of positivity with this reading. And with the King of Cups, and also with the Page of Cups. So I think that whether it's a new job or whether it's a new relationship, that you are going to make the right choice and find yourself in a good place, Libra. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Take care. Bye.